Hi, and welcome to the March 2nd Ampleforth office hours. We've got a little bit of a different agenda today. There's a lot happening in the ecosystem beyond, of course, but given the discussion, really a fruitful discussion last week about the idea of an ample-backed stablecoin, we wanted to zoom into that topic a little bit more and share a bit more detail with this community about what we're up to on that front. So before turning it over to the team, just want to very briefly walk through kind of a quick overview of what this looks like. So to confirm, there is an Ample-backed stablecoin coming. It is going to be running on Ample's unique system and the rebasing nature of the Ample token. Ample will be the collateral for this stablecoin, making it inflation resistant and very distinct from some of the more popular and well-known projects that are on the market today. And a keynote, this will be governed by the Fourth DAO. Shameless plug / reminder for this group as well. We are coming up on April 16th, the 1-year anniversary of the Fourth token launch. All remaining unclaimed Fourth, which as of today is approximately $22 million worth, will go to the Fourth DAO. And it's going to be a really significant and exciting milestone for this community as the Fourth DAO really increases its influence over the larger Ampleforth ecosystem. With that, let's turn things over to the broader core team and open up the AMA session.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I think we can kick it off now with respect to a little bit of overview on that Ample collateral stablecoin. So Evan and Brandon, if you guys wanted to chat about that.
Yeah, I'm happy to give a bit of broad context just so everybody can remember kind of where we came from and how we got here. So Brandon and I, when we originally met, we're very fascinated with creating a stablecoin. In fact, I mean, it was all consuming for us, and even our initial designs of the Fragments protocol were collateralized stablecoins. And somewhere along the way, we kind of discovered flaws, as you guys have all read about, with kind of the coupon-based models and so on and so forth. And so we ended up killing the reserve and growing Ample, which is just a decentralized unit of account. And then having expanded on that thought quite a bit, we've kind of come up with a design that can leverage Ample's unique properties to create kind of safe asset collateral and eventually a stable coin. And as Matt mentioned, it, like Ample, will be targeting the CPI adjusted 2019 dollar. It will have the same price target as Ample, except for it will also be suitable for use as a near-term store value. And this is kind of really important in the wake of what's been going on in the broader economy, because as everybody knows, we have been experiencing high inflation. And it may be the case that we're looking at inflation for some time. So I think that it will be really important to kind of get this asset out there. I'll just pause there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I have a whole lot to add from that, aside from saying that, yeah, it's in active development. I can tell you that everyone on the team is super excited to sort of keep building this thing. And we just can't wait to get it out there.
Great. So I think we can take it from there. If questions want to populate, I'm happy to start asking those. And then obviously, if you want to join by voice, you can do that. Those questions get precedence. And I'm seeing some text-based questions come in now, so we'll use those. Right now, does the team have any favorites for the name of the Ample stable?
We have a favorite, Brandon.
Yes, it's a favorite. So far, it's just an internal favorite. We'll see how long it was for, because we've gone through a few already. But I think we do like the one we're using right now. But I think that'll come later.
Nice. That was from GS. Guy asked, is this different from the stable backed by tranches? Will the two coexist? And just to comment on that, I've seen a lot of questions of that nature.
Yeah, I think it is different in that it solely uses Ample as collateral, whereas I think the stuff that Manny and the Buttonwood team is working on is going to be a multi-collateral stablecoin. I think it's also different in that it shares the same price target as AMPL, so it's not meant to be a dollar representation on chain. It's meant to be kind of an inflation-resistant stablecoin, and I'll just kind of pause that it does kind of share some similarities, but they will coexist.
Nice. I'd want to add one more thing just for clarity there, Evan. I think most of the folks that are hardcore amplers know how Buttonwood is set up collateralized, but people are kind of discovering our community every day and joining every day. And so just want to share that right now the basket of collateral that Buttonwood has outlined would be ETH, Bitcoin, and AMPL. And so the AMPL stablecoin that we're discussing right now would merely use AMPL.
That's right. And there are advantages and disadvantages to using kind of AMPL as collateral, right? And also coming from the AMPL kind of core team. And I think that the design that we're working on leans into kind of the advantages of being directly connected with a particular asset. But I really do see a lot of opportunity for both to exist and thrive. Obviously, there's a lot of demand for kind of just dollar stablecoins, and this kind of appeals to kind of an inflation-resistant audience, and it does really leverage some of the breakthroughs that Manny and the Buttonwood team made with the tranche chain protocols.
Yeah, thanks, Evan.
Yeah, we do get some benefits of using just AMPL because we can really lean on AMPL's inequalities to make the stablecoin application itself very simple. And that's one thing that we definitely found is as we build this out, we can have something that's very simple and sort of easy to examine and sort of transparent. I think that's a really cool quality that we're hoping to keep through the entire process. And so, yeah, I think it does come with some advantages of the simplicity and directness.
That's right. We had a question from Kent55. They said, can you describe on a high level how it will work?
So I think more of those details will come out as we get closer to the launch time. But yeah, I think that's kind of the best place to leave it for now.
Perfect. Hey, thanks for joining GS and nice work. I see all the comments and things you've been adding lately with Hourglass.
Oh yeah, thanks, appreciate it. I just wanted to ask a question about so like it sounds like you're going to give like more technical details like later, but I just want to ask because like there's been hints about I guess like if this Ample stable is using the Buttonwood contracts and the tranches, there's like an expiry or there's like a maturity to those tranches, right? So I guess the question is this like Ample stable? Like will users need to be, I guess, aware of like that maturity to a certain extent, or does the design like have a feature such that that wouldn't be a problem for like the end user?
Yeah, as far as the end user is concerned, it should operate just like a regular asset, right? They can hold, trade, and not have to worry about things like maturity and that sort of thing. In the same way that most users who use, for example, Compound or Aave don't need to worry so much about the mechanics of how liquidators liquidate, right? So if you look at, for example, like Aave or Compound, there are different kinds of users that do different roles, but not every user is forced into every role, if that makes sense.
Okay, got it. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. And actually, on the topic of Aave, I guess the question is there and it might be like too early for this question, but like do you guys see like a use for this Ample staple in terms of lending and borrowing it, and is it different from lending and borrowing on Aave with Ample as we have it right now?
It would be different, I would say. There would be a lot of uses for this kind of Ample collateralized stablecoin. Lending and borrowing I mean, if you can store near-term value, you can certainly use it for, debt denomination. And you can also use it for, collateral. So
would it be
yeah,
a
it would be
separate
different.
pool, I guess, is like my question. Would it like or do we not know those details?
So any integration with outside platforms requires probably going through some sort of governance process, which is not something that we have, by definition, kind of direct control over. But say that it were added onto Aave, it's a different asset, so it would be a different pool. It's a different asset, but it also has different behavior too. So while it does have the same price target that Ample has, I expect it would have much tighter price stability around the target than Ample does. And so it'd operate much closer to what you expect from a stablecoin. And so you could use it in just about any context where you could kind of conceivably use something like that.
Okay, cool. And then my last question is, I guess going back to the whole maturity question. So if that's something the end user does not need to worry about, but we know that the Buttonwood tranches, that is something that is built into the tranches, right? With maturity. So I guess my question is there some sort of fee or end cost to the user if they don't need to worry about that? Or I guess the question is there any fee or anything that would be that goes to the end user for this stable?
So this is getting a little bit deep into the weeds of implementation.
Okay.
So there will be some fees involved in the system, but not for the average holder and person who transfers. Okay, so there won't be a fee on transfers or anything like that. Is the plan, because that causes lots of other problems. But if you look at Maker, for example, or Liquidity, or many of these, there are fees associated with even Tether. I think when you go in and out of dollars to tokens, there is some sort of fee involved there. And so insofar as there's any net positive revenue from these fees, that would be going in within the control of the fourth DAO. But the first goal is to maintain stability and solvency first, and then everything after that comes secondary.
Okay, cool. Thanks guys. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Sure.
Check out what GS in the everyone's been up to in the ecosystem channel. Their alpha testnet is out, and they're looking for users to play around with that on Hourglass. So if you have the opportunity to go check it out and use it on testnet, please do. A couple more good questions here. I'll do one out of order just because of what it just landed on. Carpe Diem asked, what role will Forth play in the governance of the stablecoin?
I think that connects directly with kind of the design of the overall system, and so the important thing to know is any sort of configuration updates would be governed by Forth.
Yeah, I think the normal governance operations you expect. So like Evan said, configuration. If there was a need to upgrade the contracts, that would be guarded by governance. And then if there's any extra revenue that's generated from the system, then that would be controllable by the fourth DAO as well through normal voting.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Cold's asked, will a fully ample-backed stablecoin be an inflation-sensible stablecoin like DAI, or will it be an inflation-adjusting stablecoin? I heard that tranches will be adjusted to the value of one USD rather than the value of one AMPL. Am I confused?
So this will be inflation resistant. So it's not going to have the price target of one USD. It's going to have the same price target that AMPL does. Yeah, that's the goal. And it will also give you refuge from volatility of holding too.
Cool. Sunbreather asked, does 2022 seem likely for a launch of this stable?
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah. We're still pretty early 2022. And Ken55, and there's a little bit of support for this question from others. Any plans on how to bootstrap liquidity and maintain a dollar peg for the stable coin?
Yeah, we do have some initial plans for that.
Cool. That's basically the questions for today.